When I started programming, I had absolutely no idea with coding and coding languages. I heard from many people and most of them said me that all of them are important. So I started learning many programming languages at once, and that was an absolute mess. Like, I couldn't understand any of them. Like, why the hell are we using those braces? What the hell is Konio.h? What is stdio.h? It was a complete mess. It came to a point that I have lost all my energy and enthusiasm to learn code, and I started to mug up code and vomit it in the exam. Then once I saw my grades at an all-time low, then I decided, bas bahut hua, something needs a change. Either I will destroy this habit or this habit will destroy my mental health and confidence. So I went deep down the problem and figured out this handful of strategies which helped me become the best programmer in the school. Not just that, 4 साल हो चुके हैं इस बात को, and now coding is my superpower. #flex. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Surya. I'm a student, programmer, and a YouTuber. On this channel, we explore the different strategies and tools that help us become a better coder and live life more productively. And so, in this video, I'm going to go over those 5 handful of strategies that help me become a better coder. And I wish someone told this me when I was started learning coding. Starting with number 1, ignoring the errors. Oh, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I did. When I started coding, I was so excited and eager that I skipped most of the theory and directly jumped into code. And instead of learning the basics of the programming like oops, variables, interpreters, compilers, machine code, loops, if-else, structures, blah blah blah, I just directly started coding from the very first day. And I didn't understand anything. सब कुछ सर के ऊपर से जा रहा था. And I was like, what the hell? What is this? It was like building a huge skyscraper without any foundation at all. मैंने घंटों बर्बाद कर दिया figuring out a small bug which could be very easily solvable if I were to know the theory very well. But why is this so crucial कि मैंने इसको सबसे पहले रखा? Well, because without a solid foundation, your every step will be very shaky and you will find very difficulty going ahead in the programming journey. So it's better to learn the theory first because that will save you much time, make you more productive and get you ahead. So trust me, थोड़ा सा टाइम पहले निकाल के अपने programming concepts को clear कर लो, like the structures of basic programming languages, data structures and all stuff like that, and that will pay off you exponentially. Even if you try to learn many languages, okay, and that is also a problem, which brings us to the point number 2, the multi-language fallacy. मुझे याद है, I had a so-called friend who when first started learning coding, उसने सोचा कि जितनी जल्दी, जितनी ज़्यादा languages हम सीखेंगे, उतना आगे जाके बेहतर होगा. While it is true that ज़्यादा language सीखने से आपको better advantage मिलेगा, you will have an upper hand, but shuffling with many programming languages at once will be the worst decision one can ever make. Like he did. He jumped from C++ to Java to Python, JavaScript and many more, thinking that he was being productive. In reality, he was just wasting his time and being counterproductive, making him overwhelmed with so many languages. To all of you who are wondering, 3-4 languages साथ में सीखना wouldn't it be better? No. Here's a pro tip. Focus on mastering one language at a time. Once you have a better understanding of a single language, diving into other languages will be easier because the core fundamentals of programming stays the same. Understood why a single language is important, but प्रश्न ये है कि हम कौन सा language choose करें. Which brings us to the third point, choosing the right language. You know, programming languages like doctors. Imagine if you're having a problem with your teeth and you go to a vet. Like, how can that be sensible, right? Although एक vet भी आपको एक basic advice दे सकता है, but still, wouldn't you prefer to go to a specialist who knows how to treat your specific issue? Similarly, each language has its own speciality and is suited for a certain task. Like in my case, मेरा passion तब था cool visual graphics and ऐसे कुछ GUI softwares. And back then, I only knew C++ and Java. Since I was in a momentum with Java, I started making a few GUI projects. That was hugely tiring because Java was never meant for GUI projects. उसके बाद later in my life, when I was studying Python, what took me 3 weeks to build in Java took only 3 days in Python. That's why first identify your passion. What are the things that you want to start with? What are the things that you love doing and you enjoy it? Based upon that information, you can conclude that which language will be best suited for you. And in the description, I will provide you the chart of which programming language suits you based on your passion. But if you're like me, dreaming to become a programming wizard with many capabilities so that you can increase your skills, level up, or just flex, then my strong recommendation will be go with Java first because that is kind of what I enjoyed the most. And while you're starting, enjoyment is the key factor for you to continue in the journey. And here's a pro tip. अगर आप genuinely एक अच्छा programmer बनना चाहते हो, then you can't choose to stop learning. Learning is constant throughout your life. But the vicious loop of learning is the most dangerous thing in a coder's life. That is the 4th point. Avoid tutorial hell. And don't worry, that's a very wide and common issue, yet it is very vicious. Even until 2022, I myself was so much engrossed watching tutorials, I forgot the joy I used to find in creating and experimenting with code. And the reason the cycle is very toxic is that because our brain tricks us to think that we are being productive, या फिर हम कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं, नया सीख रहे हैं, and hence we feel very good of ourselves. But in reality, what happens is that it overloads our brain with too much compact information, बिना कोई practically implement किए, and that's why we face problems if we don't find someone spoon feeding us at every step. So here's a pro tip which even worked from me and a very close friend of mine. That is, एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम एलोकेट करो ट्यूटोरियल्स के लिए, लाइक X आवर्स, एंड डोंट ओवरवॉच। भले ही कम इन्फॉर्मेशन जाए बट डो नॉट ओवरवॉच। और उसके बाद दुगना टाइम लगाओ अपने एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन, कोडिंग एंड प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर। Okay, fifth point, productivity. Now this might sound very traditional, but trust me, it is very important and people often overlook this. पहले के दिन में I used to have this problem wherein my tasks were too much scattered and inefficient, and I used to struggle with time management a lot. मुझे हर कोडिंग सेशन से पहले देखना होता था कि मैंने पहले क्या क्या किया, उसके बाद I need to reanalyze, replan, restructure all of the things and start coding, which took a huge lot of energy and time. And if you're like me who values your time and productivity, then this is my advice for you. When you start a project, divide that into smaller actionables. अरे भैया एक ही चीज़ क्यों बार-बार बोल रहे हो? I've heard this many times, you know? No, my friend. This is the truth. And if you're still having problem with this, either you're not following it or you're not following it the right way. For example, my first big project was a Notepad/Paint application wherein you can code in that. You can send an email. You can write notes, obviously. You can write on it. You can use it as a whiteboard. You can take notes or compile any program. I broke down into smaller chunks and you can see that on screen. And this was me using Notion 4 years back. So you can see it is very simple bullet points, nothing very complex stuff or like that. Similarly, आप अपने projects के लिए भी ऐसा कुछ try कर सकते हो and that will strongly help you. Oh, and by the way, अगर आपको productivity से related और कोई video चाहिए, then please comment it down. And I am very eager to share with you all what are the things I have learned in the 4 years of me trying to hunt for productivity. And also comment अगर आपको Notion के बारे में जानना है, I will make a complete tutorial on that because that is a tool that I love the most for productivity, for managing stuffs. So these were the 5 strategies that I used to transform myself and my personality as a coder. Oh, by the way, if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure ये आपको बहुत पसंद आएगा. Thank you very much for watching. Do check that out and वहाँ पर मिलते हैं. Till then.